Hey guys, welcome to another recap of Survivor Redemption. Last time, Elise was sent to Redemption. And at Survivor, Ozzy is pretty pissed because, yo, you just been blindsided. Not really. His friend has just been blindsided. So now he's a little crabby. He's a free agent, which doesn't make sense to me at all. Because you're part of a tribe. There's no individual immunity at this point, so you're not a free agent. He's having a little baby tantrum and he needs his diaper changed, so at Oopaloo there's plenty of food, it's good times, especially if you're Coach, because Coach has the idol. Brandon starts looking around for the clues or the idol. He finds a clue and he doesn't know that Coach has the idol, and Coach and Albert let him look for it, and they don't tell him. So when he finds out that Coach has it, oh boy, loose cannon. All right, so at Redemption, Ozzy and Keith came to witness, and Sophie and Rick, and yes, in case you didn't realize, it's Christine versus Elise, and Christine is pretty much at the breaking point. She whipped up some tears because Redemption is having an effect on her. So Rick makes the mistake of rooting for her during the challenge, and she totally flips him the bird. And by the way, the challenge was shuffleboard, but Survivor style, kind of. You have to knock off all your opponent's discs. So Christine dominated early, and that was partially thanks to Elise knocking off one of her own discs, but then it was all tied up. But then Christine pulled it out. So yeah, Elise is eliminated, buff in the fire, whole 9 yards, blah blah blah, done. So back at Oopaloo, they report back how bitter Christine was, and in case you didn't know, there's a little mini alliance going on between Coach and Edna. It's not really an alliance, it's like, okay, Michaela will go before you, Edna. It's like a one slot alliance, and then it's every man for themselves, kind of. So at Survivor, Ozzy has settled down and apologizes, and it's just in time for the immunity challenge, which is also a reward. The reward this week, a natural water slide field trip. You know there's going to be good food. Alright, so you have to assemble a wheelbarrow. You have to go around this little obstacle course and collect 2 loads of coconuts, and then break down the wheelbarrow and turn it into a slingshot to knock down idols. So Edna sits out, of course, because she's the runt of the litter, and Savai's having a lot of trouble because the wheelbarrow is very awkward to move, and Ozzy's having a hard time, genuinely. I don't think he threw it. I think he's just having a real hard time. They fell behind, but they ended up having a huge comeback thanks to Michaela sucking. Coach kept telling her, she was in the part where you had to knock down the idols, and she kept using one hand on the slingshot, and Coach was telling her, use 2, sit out, let Albert do it, let me do it. You know what, Coach? You weren't knocking down that many idols either. It was mostly Albert. But she wouldn't listen in any case, and they ended up losing. So, yeah. At the reward, Ozzy is feeling like, oh, if I can't win the money, I want somebody in my tribe to win it. I love this tribe, you know, blah, blah, blah. Let's see how long that lasts. The rocks at the reward looked kind of painful. Nobody was complaining though, but it didn't look as smooth as I thought it would be. But the big delicious sandwiches definitely made up for it if anybody had coccyx injuries. Alright, so at Oopaloo, Coach wants Michaela gone. That's no surprise, because he's, you know, buddy-buddy with Edna. But Albert does not want Michaela gone. He wants Edna gone, and he tells Michaela not to worry. He goes around trying to campaign to keep Michaela, and he pretty much convinces everybody, and then he gets to Coach. And Coach is like, no, 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 and goes around and tries to swing everybody back to keep Edna. But I don't think he convinced everyone. Oh, Coachy. It ends up that Rick is going to be the swing vote. So at Tribal, Jeff wants to know what the hell happened at the challenge. So Coach is only too happy to call out Michaela. Edna's a little baby, you know, she had to sit out. She admits it. She's not athletic at all, but she's loyal. And Jeff asked the Probsting question this week, do you want to get to the merge with numbers or loyalty? And of course there's no good answer to that. It's a personal preference, and the tribe was pretty split on the whole situation. So crazy Brandon all of a sudden decides that he's going to raise his hand and speak because it's killing him. I wish he would just shut up because he's such a loose cannon. So he said he's upset and that everybody had a deal to get rid of Michaela. She's not one of the original 6 or whatever, however many it is now. It's 5, it's 6, who knows. So he wants her gone, and he says, I'm voting for her, and if you guys aren't loyal, you might as well vote me out too. I'm thinking he meant eventually, not that week. But did you see how big Jeff's eyes got? They were as big as plates, his dinner plates. He was like, did you just say you wanted to be voted out? All right, so it's time for the vote, and yes, it was a close vote, and Cowboy did end up being the swing vote. And by 1 vote, Michaela is out. And Coach and Brandon profess their love for each other. I have a feeling they'll be getting an apartment when all this blows over, but we'll have to wait and see who wins the money. Next time, Coach says a little prayer for the tribe. You know, he wants them to be unified. Till next week, much love.